Hi, I'm Grant Dowsett, and I help the leaders in business go from stuck to unstoppable with my visioneering method. However, today I have a confession to make. It's about my wake-up call. For 14 years, I'd built and run my own manufacturing business. It was more than just about making income. It was my identity and my passion. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, however, came, "That's all, folks." But unlike the end of a Looney Tunes cartoon, I didn't get to switch off the TV and go back to normal. It was gone. It got worse before it got better. Not that I want to hit you with a sob story, however, but from there, I became clinically depressed. I was self-medicating and I became an alcoholic, big time. My life was spiraling out of control, all culminating in near fatal consequences. Then, as if that wasn't enough, a few months later, my wife left me and our marriage ended. I was the lowest point in my life. You could definitely say I'd hit rock bottom. And with it all happening so quickly, I barely had time to understand it all, let alone search for answers. So I turned to some self-help books. You might be expecting me to say these books changed my life. Well, I'll try and keep this brief. They were mostly useless to me. I needed something more beneficial. Looking back on it now, what they actually lacked was crucial. The ability to provide me with the accountability and support I was yet to work out I really needed to succeed. So then I turned to the self-help gurus and the so-called self-paced training courses. Need I say it again? Total crap. For the same reasons before, in fact, pretty much I tried everything, every approach to help sort myself out. From full-on rehab to personal development workshops, right through to private therapists, and even at one point, kinesiology. I gave it my all. And then I finally found the solution that changed my life forever. It took me a while, but I finally found a proper coach and mentor to help me get from where I was to where I desperately needed to be. My mentor was able to help me get off the alcohol, taper off the depression medication, and put me back into a position where I was able to build my next successful business. If you saw the version of me standing side by side with myself before I did this program and after, you wouldn't even think we were related. In fact, I probably wouldn't either. Ocean views came next, and so did my passion to help others. Okay, so slight humble brag here. I'm filming this video from my office of my ocean view apartment. Something I thought was totally impossible back when I was stuck where I was. However, because my personal results were so good, and I loved the process I was taken through so much, I became obsessed with helping others in the same way that I was helped by my mentor, by Proctor. And that brings me to where I am today. You don't have to have been through the hard slog like I have to create the business and life of your dreams you truly have in mind. You just need a few fundamental pieces and a good support system in your corner to help you see what you can't see and push past the boundaries that are sometimes invisible to no one but yourself. Which is why if you feel as though you have a specific area or areas in your world where you might have lost your direction or are stuck self-sabotaging and drowning in a sea of self-help noise, I get it. Just let me know. I'm here to help. You can also check out the links below for a free self-assessment and how to get in contact with me. I'm Grant Dowsett. Thank you very much for listening to my story.